Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Once again, it's been a little bit since I've posted anything, so I wanted to kind of update you on my no-till drill project where I no-till drilled 11 different seeds in. So stick around here for a second and we'll show you kind of what we accomplished, and we'll see if we can continue to improve our pasture land. So stay tuned. So I'm standing where the previous video was shot, and you can see we've got some plants coming up. And to the best of my ability to identify these plants with an app, a plant app, I think that this is all Exceed BMR Pearl Millet. And interestingly, what I found is that I did get some different species. You can see one there, not sure what that is. You can see another, maybe the same variety there. But very, very few and far in between. There's another plant of some variety. Again, that definitely is part of the seeds that were no-tilled in. But by far, the only thing that really thrived was the pearl millet. And it's probably about 4 foot high in through here. I was pretty disappointed though. Initially, when I planted these seeds, I got a flourish of plants that came up. There was some okra that came up. The growing conditions couldn't have been better. We had an inordinate amount of rain in the month following me planting it, but it came in pretty sparse. Other than this is probably the best area here of the pearl millet. But look out here on the landscape. All that was planted as well, and it's pretty puny. There's definitely some forage there, and it doesn't look very healthy out in there. It's a lot healthier. Whoops, excuse me. It's a lot healthier looking over here. And there's going to be some good forage. I'm fixing to put the cattle in here. I have rested this pasture all summer long, and that is the exception rather than the rule, in that this time of year we're usually coming out of a very dry summer, and we've had pretty abundant rain for summertime. This may be a different kind of plant, and again, I'd love for people to comment in the comment section. This is definitely different and may or may not be the pearl millet, and I wish I had better knowledge of this. I've tried to use some plant identification apps, and it's very hit or miss whether or not I'm figuring out the right thing. So again, that same type of plant, but I had a flourish of seeds come up, and they got about 2-3 inches high, and then they disappeared, and this stuff kept on a coming. So I think this is Johnson grass here. That wasn't part of the mix. This is from some Johnson grass hay that I've unrolled in through here. And then this is what I would suggest to you is the pearl millet. It's headed out, and I planted this in pretty dense sod, and so I think that's part of the reason why I didn't get a good stand in through here. All this was very specifically planted, meaning I didn't miss any spots, but we just didn't get a great stand. Here's another plant that I don't recognize as anything that typically grows here. Not sure what that is. I planted sunflowers, didn't get a single sunflower. But you can see over here where I planted into some pretty dense Bermuda grass. I got a good stand there. I just don't know why. And just showing you across the landscape here. So I got some forage. You can see some goat weed in here. That's a little troublesome. That's all goat weed back there. And that'll just drown everything else out. So that's what we accomplished. I want to show you over here where there was a burn pile. And meaning we lost quite a few trees a year ago from the drought. And so I had a track hoe come in, harvest those trees. We cut out all the lumber we could and sent it to a sawmill. And we burned the stumps and the tops of the trees, and then what wouldn't burn, we dug a hole with that track hoe and buried. And this is quite interesting to me. Very sandy loam soil for the first probably 6 inches, and then it gets into clay. But look how it has really thrived, where that clay soil is now on top of the soil because of the digging it up and then burying those stumps. And that's a different grass here, or there's some different grasses. Again, I would tell you that that's the pearl millet, and this is in desperate need of grazing. And then this is Johnson grass, and I'm pretty confident, if I remember right, I unrolled Johnson grass hay on this bare spot. We've got good Bermuda grass coming on. Here's a different plant, and then I'm confident that that was in the seed mix. I'm seeing that sporadically through the pasture. That's not native. That may be sun hemp. And again, I apologize that I don't know, but that's what we got. So that stuff right there is a good 6 or 7 foot tall. You can see where I unrolled hay right here that's still not decomposed, but the Jigs Bermuda grass is coming on strong. Probably won't cover this year. This will have to decompose some more. But again, here's the pearl millet and Johnson grass. So that's what we accomplished. So I think next summer for sure, I'll come in here and just plant the varieties that I'm pretty confident will grow. And I don't have a great explanation for why I got such big skips, because I know all this was definitely planted. Was my seed not deep enough? Was it too deep? What's the problem? And I don't know. I'm going to experiment with that. I'm going to go into the fall and plant some ryegrass and clover for some late winter grazing. Hopefully I'll be able to graze it by early January, and then again in March when it starts warming up. But that's the update. A lot of unanswered questions, why it didn't take and get a lot more thick, and why a lot of those other plants didn't survive, because like I said, I couldn't have asked for a better moisture year. But that's where we are, and that's what I'll report. So thank you all for watching. I appreciate you riding along with me. I'm learning as I go. Appreciate any insight any of y'all have, and let's keep going. We're going to graze this. I'll show you a video here at the end of the cattle being turned out on this pearl millet and Johnson grass, and probable sun hemp and a couple other little plants, maybe some cowpeas. I'm not sure what they are. So that's what I got. And I wanted to show that to you before I graze it, and it's no longer visible. So thank you, and I hope you have a great day.